Good morning, friends. I welcome you all once again in the credit risk management lecture. Okay, on the last lecture, we started the second chapter, right? Regarding first chapter, we acquire the knowledge regarding the various risk which is arise in the banking sector, like credit risk is there, operational risk is there. Apart from that, the external risk which is arise due to the fluctuation in interest rate and market rate. Due to that, the various risk are arises, and for that there is establishment of a credit risk department on the particular branch, and it is responsible to manage all the things. So in the second chapter we studied about the asset liability management. As we studied in the earlier lecture as well, I shared the PPT regarding asset liability. You know, the asset and liability for earning the maximum profit or to maintain the balance or the stabilization of the bank, you should attain the equality between the assets and liability. At least equality is there. If there is possible, then asset should be greater than liability. That's it. But for the stabilization for sake of stabilization, asset should be equal to the liability. But sometimes the bank fail just because of there is a imbalance between the assets and liability. There are many reasons why there is imbalance arises. Number of things are there. So again we have to focus on what is the asset liability management. After liberalization, you can see in the slide as well, after liberalization every bank faced the interest rate risk and the non stability in the income on the actual basis. It mostly arises due to the off balance sheet variable. Off balance sheet variable, you know, that the variable which is not included into the balance sheet, but it is greatly affect on the banking function, because there is fluctuation in the interest rate. When you accept the deposits from the consumer, you have to pay it on time. Okay, and between that period only you can use his money for giving the loan. But if that depositors demand his deposit बिफोर द मॅच्युरिटी, देन द रिस्क इज अराईज. कारण तुम्ही तो पैसा एखाद्याला दिलेला असतो ऑलरेडी. तुमच्या डोक्यात असतं की ह्यानं माझ्याकडे पैसे ठेवलेले आहेत, हा 5 वर्षांनाच येणार आहे. या हिशोबानंच तुम्ही त्याच्या पैशाचं 5 वर्षासाठी इन्व्हेस्टमेंट कुठेतरी ॲज अ लोन म्हणून केलेली असते. पण मोस्टली होतं कसं, ड्यू टू सम रिझन्स, ड्यू टू द फ्लक्च्युएशन्स इन द मार्केट, ड्यू टू इन्फ्लेशन ॲज वेल, ड्यू टू द फ्लक्च्युएशन इन इंटरेस्ट रेट ॲज वेल, दॅट डिपॉझिटर्स डिमांड हिज मनी बॅक बिफोर हिज मॅच्युरिटी, अँड दॅट time the question of the liability arises. Means there are off balance sheet variables which affect on the banking liability. So the ALM focused on the bank profitability. ALM is nothing but the asset liability management, focused on the bank profitability and the longevity maturity matching of the assets and liability. It also aimed to manage the volume, quantity, liquidity of a asset. Means it is not only the just engaged into the managing the assets and liability. Other than that, it also helpful to arrange the volume as well as the quantity and the liquidity of asset. Liquidity in the the cash holding capacity, means how to convert that assets into the cash is nothing but the volume of a liquidity, right? As the goal attained as per the predetermined risk. Means in the banking sector, the asset liability management is responsible to manage such a types of tools like asset liability management, volume of assets, quantity and the liquidity of a asset. Now we are focusing what is the definition. If you listen the last lecture carefully, and if you heard or if you see that PPT carefully, you can analyze what is the definition of asset liability management. It is the tool to manage the mismatch between the assets and liability arises due to the fluctuation in interest rate and liquidity. Means जेव्हा मिसमॅच अराईज होती ॲसेट अँड लायबिलिटीमध्ये, आणि ती मिसमॅच कधी होती, जेव्हा तुम्ही लायबिलिटी द्यायला फेल होता. कारण तुम्ही जे काही ॲसेट्स घेतलेले आहेत त्या तुम्ही प्रॉपर एका पिरियडसाठी घेतलेले असतात, आणि ते डिपॉझिटर्स जर प्री मॅच्युअर जर विड्रॉल करायला आले तर अशा वेळेस तिथं प्रॉब्लेम क्रिएट होतो आणि लिक्विडिटीचा इश्यू तिथं क्रिएट होतो. विच आर द पॅरामीटर्स, यू कॅन सी दॅट. विच आर द पॅरामीटर्स? द फर्स्ट इज द नेट interest income. It is the income earned by the bank from the fluctuation in interest rate. This rest fluctuate might be adverse effect on the bank and its function conditions. Means the interest rate are determined by the monetary policy, and monetary policy execute the new interest rate after every 3 months, and due to the fluctuation in that interest rate, sometimes the rate becomes stable, but sometimes there is fluctuation of 0.20, 0.25, 0.50. There is minor fluctuation, guys, but it affect on the banking sector and it affect on the net income of the bank, right? NIA means the net interest income. Whatever the income they are generating due to the fluctuation in the interest is called as the net interest income. But due to sometimes due to that fluctuations, the number of risk are arises. The next one is the net interest margin. What is the net interest margin? The margin of the margin fixed by the RBI with the quantitative controls, and NIM is earning the banks through the margin. It called as a NIM. आता net interest margin in the sense काय आहे, एक लक्षात घ्या, कुठलेही लोन डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करत असताना त्याचा जो मार्जिन आहे तो RBI तिथं सेटल करून देत असते किंवा डिफाईन करून देत असते. इफ यू आर प्रोव्हाइडिंग होम लोन तर तिथं मार्जिन, आता फॉर एक्झाम्पल मी एक उदाहरण देते तुम्हाला. आय वॉन्ट टू परचेस अ ॲक्सेस, ओके, द एक शोरूम प्राइस और लाइक वी कन्सिडर द ऑन रोड प्राइस ऑफ द ॲक्सेस इज द 92,000. ओके, आय वॉन्ट टू मेक द loan for it. I does not have the cash. I want to make the loan for it. I demand the loan from the bank. Bank immediately say we will grant the loan as per your income level, but we will provide you the 80% loan only. Apart income you have to pay in a down payment, as a down payment, right? Means this is nothing but the margin that whenever the customer demand the vehicle loan, you have to provide the 80%. When the consumer demand the house loan, you have to provide 90%. Means that margin of 10%, 20% which the bank kept their hand. म्हणजे एक साधं उदाहरण सांगते की मी ॲक्सेस घ्यायला गेले, मला कर्ज घ्यायचं आहे, ओके, कर्जावर मी ती गाडी घेतली, कर्जासाठी मी मागणी बँकेत केली, बँकेनं मला काय ऑन रोडची 100% कर्ज दिलं नाही. बँक काय म्हटली, मॅडम 92,000ला गाडी आहे ना, इस्टिमेट मी सादर केल्यानंतर कोटेशन ज्याला तुम्ही म्हणता, कोटेशन सादर केल्यानंतर बँक मला म्हटली की ॲज पर युअर इन्कम लेवल वी सँक्शन यू द 80% लोन. मग आता 92,000च्या 8% किती समजा मला कर्ज झालं असेल, समजा 74,000 रुपये जर मला कर्ज झालं, बाकीचं मला ॲज अ डाऊन पेमेंट म्हणून भरावं लागतं. म्हणजे एक लक्षात घ्या की बँकेकडनं मला मिळाले 74,000 रुपये कर्ज आणि वरचे 20,000 मी डाऊन पेमेंट केले. कॅन यू इमॅजिन गाईज? आणि मग त्याच्यानंतर काय होतं, समजा मी हप्ता इन्स्टॉलमेंट्स भरत जाते, एक महिना किंवा एक 12 महिने 13 महिने मी इन्स्टॉलमेंट भरते आणि त्याच्यानंतर मला काही परवडत नाही, मग मी हा महिने काय इन्स्टॉलमेंट भरायचं थांबवते. इट इज कन्सिडर ॲज अ बॅड डेट. अशा वेळेस बँक माझी गाडी घेऊन जाते आणि ती रिसेलला काढते. मग तेव्हा त्याच्या व्हॅल्युएशनमध्ये तो वरचा मार्जिन जो काही ठेवलेला आहे तो मार्जिन का ठेवला जातो, कारण ती गाडी सेकंड हँड होणार आहे 12-13 महिन्यानंतर, त्यामुळे तिला काही तेवढं व्हॅल्युएशन येणार नाही आहे आणि बँकेला तोटा होऊ नये त्यामुळं बँक तो काही मार्जिन तुम्हाला तिथं ठरवून देत असते. मग तो जो नेट इंटरेस्ट मार्जिन जो आहे की हाऊसिंग लोनला आपण मार्जिन कमी ठेवतो का, तर आपल्याला माहिती आहे की हाऊसिंगमध्ये जर कर्ज बॅड डेट झालं तर आपलं नेहमी ॲप्रिशिएशन होणार आहे, कारण तो फ्लॅट जर आपण विकायला काढला तर त्याचं ॲप्रिशिएशन होणार आहे, तो प्लॉट जर आपण विकायला काढला तर त्याचं ॲप्रिशिएशन होणार आहे. बट इन द केस ऑफ कार, इन द केस ऑफ गोल्ड, डेप्रिशिएशन विल बी काउंट आणि मग तिथं मार्जिन जास्त ठेवला जातो. तिथं तुम्हाला 80, 75, 70%च कर्ज दिलं जातं, कारण तिथं रिस्क आहे ना. मग त्यातनं जो मार्जिनमधनं इन्कम मिळत असतो तो नेट इंटरेस्ट मार्जिन आहे. द मार्जिन फिक्स्ड बाय द RBI विथ द क्वांटिटेटिव्ह कंट्रोल. आणि हे RBI सेट करत असते यार, क्वांटिटेटिव्ह आणि क्वालिटेटिव्ह टूल्स यू ऑलरेडी स्टडीड इन द सेंट्रल बँक ॲज वेल. दॅट quantitative control, the qualitative control and the NIM is the earning of the bank through the margin. It called as NIM. And the last one is economic equity ratio. What is the economic equity ratio? It is the ratio of bank equity as per the market rate. The EER is the ratio of bank equity and its fluctuation rate. Means is nothing but the ratio of bank equity as per the market rate. Market rate नुसार तुमच्या शेअर्सच्या काय किमती चाललेल्या आहेत, is nothing but the economic equity ratio. These are the 3 parameters of asset liability management. I again revise. The first is the net interest income, second one is the net interest margin. That margin is decided by Reserve Bank of India, and the last one is economic equity ratio. Economic equity ratio in the sense what is the shares rate according to the market rate. Market rate काय आहे तुमचा आणि त्याचा शेअरशी रेशो जो काही काढला जातो त्याला आपण EER असं म्हणतो. दॅट इज इकॉनॉमिक इक्विटी रेशो. नाव वी हॅव टू फोकस व्हॉट आर द टूल्स why that asset liability mismatch is arise just because of liquidity, interest rate and currency rate. One is the liquidity. Liquidity means always you remember what is the meaning of liquidity. Liquidity means cash holding capacity. The liquidity is the risk which is arise due to the bank unable to generate the sufficient cash flow as per the demand. Effect of the liquidity risk is the financial obligation like a bank earning the means it is depend upon it is affect on the profit. एक लक्षात घ्या, कधी कधी असं होतं तुम्ही बँकेमध्ये जाता, कॅश विड्रॉलला जाता आणि बँकेमध्ये कॅशच नसते. ATMमध्ये तर बऱ्याच वेळेस तुम्हाला हा प्रश्न उद्भवतो की अरे कॅशच नाही आहे, कॅश असली तर हायर डिनॉमिनेशनचे. म्हणजे दिस इज नथिंग बट द लॅक ऑफ लिक्विडिटी गाईज. लक्षात घ्या, बऱ्याच वेळेस ATM ओस पडलेले असतात, ATMमध्ये कॅशच नसते. बऱ्याच वेळेस कोरोनामध्ये सुद्धा तुम्ही हे सगळं फेस केलेलं आहे. मीन्स दॅट पर्टिक्युलर बँक फेस द प्रॉब्लेम ऑफ लिक्विडिटी. मीन्स दे आर फेल टू जनरेट द रिक्वायर्ड कॅश फ्लो. द बँक अनेबल टू जनरेट द सफिशियंट कॅश फ्लो ॲज पर द डिमांड. The effect of liquidity is the financial obligations like bank earning, bank profit. Okay. Next one is the इंटरेस्ट रेट. आता यू नो द इंटरेस्ट रेट कोण ठरवून देते, तर सेंट्रल बँक ठरवून देते. द ॲसेट लायबिलिटी मॅनेजमेंट इज अराइज ड्यू टू द फ्लक्च्युएशन इन इंटरेस्ट रेट विच लीड्स टू फेल द मीटिंग लायबिलिटी ऑफ द कस्टमर. बऱ्याच वेळेस इंटरेस्ट रेटमधले जे काही फ्लक्च्युएशन्स असतात, वेदर इट इज बँक रेट और रेपो रेट, लक्षात घ्या, पण तरीसुद्धा त्याच्यामध्ये येणाऱ्या फ्लक्च्युएशन्समुळं ज्या काही रिस्क अराईज होतात, इट इज कॉल्ड ॲज अ इंटरेस्ट रेट. अँड दॅट इंटरेस्ट रेट इज मॅनेज्ड बाय द फ्लक्च्युएशन इन द इंटरेस्ट रेट अँड वॉट एव्हर द रिस्क इज अराईज इज मॅनेज्ड बाय दॅट ॲसेट लायबिलिटी मॅनेजमेंट डिपार्टमेंट. ओके. अँड द थर्ड वन इज द करन्सी रेट. यू नो द बँक इज नॉट इन्वॉल्व इन टू द डोमेस्टिक फायनान्शियल असिस्टंट बट इट बिकम अ ग्लोबल नाव. सो दे आर एंगेज्ड इन टू the offshore financial assistant as well, and at that time the exchange rate it should be considered. The risk which is arise due to the fluctuation in exchange rate, the institution might not able to manage the credit flow as per the foreign currency. When the bank working as a global level, लक्षात घ्या, तर सगळ्या बँका ह्या ग्लोबल लेवलला काम करताना तुम्हाला दिसतात. आणि मग ग्लोबलला काम करत असताना इफ दे फेल टू क्रिएट or to credit flow, if they fail to manage the credit flow as per the requirement of a foreign currency. I am again repeating it. What is the currency rate? Currency rate is the rate risk which is arise due to fluctuation in the exchange rate. The institution might not able to manage the credit flow as per the foreign currency. Means these are the three tools. Again I am revising which are the three parameters. The first parameter is the net interest income. Second parameter is the net interest margin. Third parameter is economic equity ratio, where you have to just take the ratio of your shares with the market rate. Apart from that, we focused on tools of asset liability management. I think these parameters and tools we already studied in our slide, but these notes provide you the give you the deep knowledge regarding asset liability management, so I am revising it. What are the tools? There are again three tools like parameters. One is the liquidity. Liquidity means cash holding capacity. If you fail to manage the cash flow as per the need of customer, then it will consider as a liquidity risk, and that should be managed by asset liability management department. Next one is the interest rate risk due to the fluctuation of interest rate, and next one is the currency. It is the global risk actually, the risk which arise due to the fluctuation in exchange rate. Institution might not able to manage the credit flow as per the foreign currency. Means like a liquidity, it is also the same like a liquidity, but here you have to consider the foreign currency only, right? Now why we are focusing on asset liability? What is the need of asset liability management? The one is the globalization of financial market. You know the asset liability management is the main department of the bank which work for the three parameters, that is NII, NIM and EER. These parameters enhance the banking throughout the globe, and bank can distribute the credit facility throughout the globe to earn the maximum profit. If you are looking for the offshore banking, then and then only you can be the successful regarding the profit maximization, and hence the ALM has very much important. That ALM means the asset liability management department help to manage the fluctuation arise due to the financial market and gives the bank universal identity. Those banks become the successful from that, then it got a global identity. Next was this the deregulation of interest rate. You know the interest rate is determined by the Reserve Bank of India, and it also fluctuate after 3 months, every 3 months, and it is affect on your banking sector. Then the interest rate at the central level managed by RBI, which sometimes adversely affect on the banking business, but that asset liability management department decentralized द इंटरेस्ट रेट टू डिक्रीज द पोटेन्शियल लॉसेस. मीन्स ते काय करतात, त्यांच्या लेवलला एक इंटरेस्ट रेट मॅनेज करतात आणि जेणेकरून बाबा रिझर्व्ह बँक ऑफ इंडियाच्या फ्लक्च्युएशन्समुळे आपल्याला कुठला प्रॉब्लेम क्रिएट होऊ नये म्हणून ते डिरेग्युलेशन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट तिथं करत असतात. नेक्स्ट आहे डायव्हर्सिफिकेशन. The banking business is depend upon the consumer satisfaction and bank should diversify the product as per the need of customer. The asset liability management department of the bank modify the product in such a way that they increase the banking business as well as the customer satisfaction. Means sometimes the bank provide you various types of product which useful to you as well as it is not arising the risk for the banking sector. बऱ्याच वेळेस आता आजचाच एक मुद्दा मी सांगते. when I go to the petrol pump, the bank employees are standing there and they are asking for the credit card and they are asking for the credit card to those people who are एम्प्लॉईज, नॉट फॉर द बिझनेसमॅन. म्हणजे त्यांनी सगळ्यांना तिथं विचारत होते. म्हणजे नाऊ अ डेज इफ यू वॉन्ट टू इन्क्रीज युअर बँकिंग बिझनेस इट बिकम व्हेरी मच डिफिकल्ट. यू हॅव टू आस्क द पीपल, कलेक्ट द इन्फॉर्मेशन. मीन्स तुम्हाला अक्षरशः कस्टमर मिळवायला आता डोअर स्टेपला जावं लागणार आहे. आणि तुम्हाला जर टिकायचं असेल मार्केटमध्ये तर यू शुड प्रोव्हाइड द डायव्हर्सिफाईड प्रोडक्ट. डायव्हर्सिफाईड प्रोडक्ट म्हणजे इतरांपेक्षा काहीतरी वेगळं द्या की जेणेकरून कस्टमर तिथे अट्रॅक्ट होईल आणि इट इज नॉट अरायजेस द रिस्क फॉर युअर bank. The next one is the multi-currency balance sheet. Asset liability management analyze the risk arise due to the credit flow and the fluctuation in the market. It should establish the limit for investment portfolio, liability, deposits, percentage of assets and cost. Okay, when we are engaged into the offshore banking, then your balance sheet is of multi-currency. So that asset liability management department is very much helpful to manage that multi-currency balance sheet. And now last one is the narrowing the NIM. Means the asset liability management is all about the efficient management of the balance sheet with the size and quality. It try to narrow the interest margin to increase the turnover of a bank. It should be work for the accurate adequacy capital of a bank. This is nothing but the need of asset liability management. You can listen it carefully and use that notes for your further acknowledgement. Thank you so much.